Hello, this is Beast McFeast with another hot ticker review. Today we will look at BlackBerry, ticker BB. This former phone giant, who failed to innovate, has developed in some interesting ways and is now poised to emerge from obscurity. Today we will look at recent price action, short-term catalysts, what BlackBerry does now, the potential for future growth, and how I am playing this. Before we get started though, I want to be clear. I am not a financial advisor, and I do not endorse any specific investments or investment strategy. Investing involves risks, and you should know your risk tolerance. And finally, investing is not a team sport. Diamond hands hold bags, and pigs get slaughtered. So let's take a look at the past 2 months. It has honestly not been pretty. It peaked at about $16 in June, and then got into a $10 to $11 channel through most of August. We saw some growth in September, but then on September 20th, it took a dump with the rest of the market. SPY dropped by 2.5%, didn't really recover yet. BlackBerry followed it. It is hard to say what the market will do tomorrow, but let's look at what is happening with BlackBerry in the short term. So in terms of short-term catalysts, BlackBerry has earnings tomorrow at market close. They could be huge. We'll see. One reason why we're expecting larger than average earnings is they were expected to sell off $1 to $2 billion in patents or find licensing deals for those. They have a partnership with Amazon, though it's not really well understood, and this might be addressed tomorrow as part of their earnings. They also recently finished a suit against Facebook for patent infringement, and this may have turned into a licensing deal, though no one knows for sure due to the terms of the suit. It appears that BlackBerry won the suit, and Facebook would either owe them monetary compensation or something that would satisfy them. So a deal might be on the table that makes both sides happier. So what does BlackBerry do now? I mean, it used to be phones, and now it is really everything else tech related. Let's start with one of their most popular products. It's the QNX operating system. It's useful for things that cannot be allowed to fail. We're talking critical systems where lives are on the line. This includes medical robots, cars, trains, and critical infrastructure. Designed to partner with QNX, Ivy is a cloud-connected software that can connect to a variety of vehicles and other systems, and it will allow easier interaction with these systems that doesn't require as specific knowledge as other operating systems and software packages. It's also going to allow over-the-air updates for vehicles, which is really essential if you're trying to teach your cars to drive themselves. BlackBerry is also involved in cybersecurity, which is a big deal, and it's not going away. BlackBerry developed a suite of cybersecurity programs for your general consumer, businesses, and the military. They apparently developed the first unified endpoint security system, which I don't exactly understand what it is, but the several tech articles I've read on this sound like it's a big deal. It's good to note that their systems are in use by the Department of Homeland Security and military, and they have demonstrated utility against large ransomware attacks, which have been a big problem for several cities and hospital systems lately. Now, one wild card in this is the Internet of Things. It's essentially the interconnectivity of millions of devices worldwide, things that you often don't typically think of, like Wi-Fi connected cameras or refrigerators. Well, now BlackBerry is part of the Internet of Things with QNX and Ivy. And you better believe this will let them monetize your information in some way, similar to how Facebook and Google operate. What kind of impact can we expect out of BlackBerry in the coming years? Well, they're going to impact multiple industries. The most obvious one currently is the automotive industry. They have over 200 million cars with the QNX system in them, and they worked with most manufacturers, including Audi, BMW, Ford, GM, and Honda, just to name a few. Furthermore, QNX is used by 23 of the top 25 electric vehicle manufacturers, which indicates that it's going to capture a lot of a new growing area within the automotive industry. In cybersecurity, BlackBerry has its hand in a lot of pots, and they are the only major player approved to bid on most military contracts. To bid on these contracts, these systems have to meet certain basic criteria, and BlackBerry is going out and producing and upgrading their systems in a way that they can bid on contracts that their competitors simply can't. Now, who are their competitors? Looking at IBM, CrowdStrike, and VMwave, which are probably their top competitors. And it's interesting to note, these guys can't compete for the same contracts that BlackBerry has, though they are several times larger in terms of market cap, which might indicate that BlackBerry could grow into that space some. The competitors also just don't offer the diversity of options that BlackBerry has, because BlackBerry has security for phones, cars, medical robots, all sorts of weird stuff. And speaking of phones, BlackBerry is loosely associated with phones still, mostly through licensing agreements. So I don't expect them to make a big comeback in the arena that they unceremoniously stepped out of. And again, the Internet of Things is sort of a difficult thing to value, but it is a growing market, and its current estimated value as a market is between $400 billion and $1 trillion. And BlackBerry is looking to get a growing piece of that pie with the Internet of Things. One way they might do that is a deal with Amazon using the Ivy platform to develop an app store for cars. That's the general thought about what the deal with Amazon is going to be. But again, it's not entirely clear yet. So how am I going to play this? I opened up several diagonal call spreads with long-dated calls out into 2022, near the end of it. And I've been selling calls against this, in what's colloquially known as the poor man covered call. I typically sell one strike above my break even, which, if BlackBerry makes a strong move up, would turn these essentially into a very strange diagonal call credit spread. It's not a bad place to be at. The strikes I bought were in the 30 to 40 delta range, so I'm slightly out of the money, but I'm confident that in the next couple years these will move into the money, and I'll have made back most or all of my premium by that time. Thank you for watching. Please leave any questions, ticker recommendations, or whatever you want in the comments. Good luck. Get rich. Bye.